Dude, if like the devil tricked how many? What part of the heavens did he trick?
A third part of heaven.
A third part of heavens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, think of a pie, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you can divide it into 3.
Okay.
And that third part of that, or
Wow.
whatever, the full pie, the third part of that pie.
Wow. So that's a lot of
That's
a lot of angels, dude.
That's a ridiculous amount. We don't even know how much that is. It's just saying a like a generalized measurement, like a third part of heaven. We don't even know how much there is in heaven.
That's true. That's a lot of wow. That's a lot actually.
That's
dude.
crazy. Think about it.
Yeah, if you really do think about it, that is.
If God is infinite and time makes no, like, there's no time over there.
And I was just thinking about that too. I'm like, wait, heaven is infinite. So wait,
Yeah, think about it. It's
what?
infinite. So we don't really know how many angels, archangels, cherubs, and seraphims. We know that
or beings.
number.
Yeah.
We don't know that number.
Exactly.
So that's why whatever that full pie is, a third part of that. That's a ridiculous
Dude,
amount.
that is a ridiculous amount. That's a lot, dude. Dude, just with a few billion people here on Earth, that's a lot. So can you imagine in heaven?
This is like what? There's like 7-8 billion people on Earth.
Wow. So he was wise, bro.
Who was wise?
Lucifer, the devil.
Yeah, whatever
His name was. Yeah. Super wise, bro.
Yeah, man.
Because he probably saw things that the other angels probably didn't see, and maybe God probably showed him things that like.
And you know what's crazy? Keep that thought about him being wise.
Yeah.
Sadly, but after Adam and Eve, and that's another thing. We don't know how long Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden.
That's true. We
just
don't
created it and boom, and then
Yep.
they were deceived, and that's it. But we don't know how long that took.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
We don't.
It was just boom after they just came out, or God kicked them out, and then right. But even after that, during like Enoch's time, another batch of angels, fallen angels, come down from
what? So that means
started lusting
really?
on the woman, the women of men, the women on earth.
So it means the angels were still falling then.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Right, and one must ask, like, okay, well, what made them want to come and mate with the women? Were they that beautiful? Because obviously. But what made them to like just all of a sudden or was it already something already in motion that perhaps Lucifer must have left the seed over there and they didn't take upon those actions yet until probably they had been given an order when to execute it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Do you see how wise that is?
That is very
and
wise.
even then, God didn't do anything.
Merciful.
Love, right? Like
love.
The previous episode, right?
Yeah, love.
So then they fall and then they start to wreak havoc, bro. Like they start to do things and show things, give them knowledge they're not even supposed to obtain.
Yeah, because Lucifer probably had knowledge that like was intense, and he shared it with the angels.
Yeah.
So no wonder. Yeah.
So back to that, you said.
Well, what did I say before?
Wise, him being wise.
Oh, dude, then if he was able to do that with being in front of God, able to fool, so how much more does he do it here?
Not that he was fooling God. No,
he wasn't fooling God. He was fooling the angels. No, God can't be fooled. God is
he knows
impeccable.
Everything.
Yeah.
He fooled other angels.
He fooled other angels.
Perhaps they were in lower ranking, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that were in front of God.
And they're all perfect beings, right?
Yeah.
With knowledge and wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And yet they were fooled.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
So how much more is he fooling us down here?
Yeah, now you can imagine that if he was able to play, use the art of deception in heaven against his fellow comrades, like angels, his buddies.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that over here, he he's struggling to deceive us.
What?
Well, there is a factor here. The blood of Christ.
That is what's saving us.
However, that blood of Christ, it's a case before God. And why not to destroy us? That's really all that blood
Literally,
does.
no, yeah, it saves us from his wrath, because it says once we were children of wrath.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so if you really think about it, now we are not shackled by sin.
Nope.
The blood of Christ breaks that.
Yeah.
So now we are over sin. That means we're exempt from it. We can now say no to it. We can now run away from it with Christ. Correct?
No,
Now,
I mean, yeah, exactly.
but that doesn't mean that the devil, he's still reaping havoc.
Oh,
Is he not given authority? Of course it is. But because for him to be stashed away for 1,000 years in a pit, dark pit, and then to be released again, who's the one here who has the full authority?
the Almighty God.
Right.
Yep.
So as long as he has the authority, as far as right now, right? Because even with Job, if you read the book of Job, his goal there was to make Job curse God. He couldn't.
No, he couldn't.
He failed.
Miserably failed.
He failed in one part, but succeeded in the other area. That perhaps he didn't want that, but he got it anyways. Where Job became self-righteous.
Oh, trying to justify himself.
Yeah. Right?
And then God appeared and destroyed him, bro.
Decimated him.
Dude, could you imagine just looking up at the clouds and...
Not even that. It was a whirlwind.
Oh, it was a whirlwind?
Yeah, it was like a little tornado whirlwind.
Oh, that's right, it was. Yeah.
And so perhaps he didn't succeed in making him curse God, but he did start to like auto justifying himself by saying, I have done no wrong and I want him to make my case. And obviously God allowed it because perhaps God wanted to show him the parts of him.
Yeah, because God is love. He's a good father. And an evil father can be good here. So imagine God who is in heaven.
Even more
love.
no evil in him.
No evil in
Right?
him.
So he does all of that to show him you're a good man, but not really. How dare you think you're righteous?
Oh, come on.
Right? You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So if the devil, if you think the devil is wise, because you have to, I mean, honestly, let's be real here. This is not a matter of like, I love God. He's the Almighty. Like he's my CEO. He's my boss. He's my father. He's everything. He's wise above everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to also give credit. Unfortunately, he's not like an absolute naive idiot. Like he's not that dumb.
No, a lot of churches paint him as like, oh, he's nothing. You're like, yes, he's nothing, but bro, be careful, bro. It's like, would you jump into the ocean with like a great white shark roaming around? I wouldn't do it.
Trust me, he's not like he's unfortunate. And I say unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know, he has thousands of years of experience here,
bro. Probably even more. Who knows how long he was in heaven? Yeah.
When the apostles, when Paul says that we're not fighting against like flesh and blood, we're here fighting against governments, against the darkness, principalities of darkness. Like there is a fight here that's real, that actually does matter. Do you know what I mean,
dude?
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And so to say, oh, you're naive. You have to be naive.
Super naive.
Because like, yeah, God is almighty. And his son covers us with his blood. Yes. And that means we have to like always be carrying that cross.
Yeah.
Walking next to him.
Exactly. In his presence, yeah.
And he will protect us whether the temptation comes or whether it doesn't come. He's going to protect us regardless of the fact.
Yeah, he's always going to provide a way out.
Because he knows that that's coming. He knows the devil is like a roaring lion. He's looking to devour.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And let's be real here, dude. God creates the best of the best. Did he not create us perfectly? Like we have nails so we can scratch each other.
Yeah,
scratch
when you're
ourselves.
itchy, I know what you mean.
We have hair.
Weird example, but
you know, skin that you know adapts with the heat. You know,
yeah, that's right.
Bro, God created us the best of the best. We have cells that fight off bacteria. Bro, God just created us perfectly. So he must have created the devil super perfect as well.
Yeah. Well, imagine like when he created Adam and Eve. He created them in his created Adam according to the image and likeness of God,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman as well. Correct?
Yep.
That's a special creation,
Yeah.
right? And you know what's even more beautiful? He makes them naive, meaning they don't know much. They're like babies.
Yeah, that's why their love that they had for each other, like Adam and Eve,
They will
perfect.
never exist
It
in
will-
our time.
No, it wouldn't.
Never.
We can get a small taste of it.
Maybe
Only-
a small increment, maybe.
Yeah, like, you know, if we continue to dwell in His presence, but what they had was probably something that we would probably never experience
Yeah.
here on Earth.
As a man and woman, of
Correct.
course.
Yeah.
But yes, they were made perfect in according to God in God's image and likeness. Correct?
Correct.
And that's perfect. Well, everything God makes is perfect. But see, whoever this guy is, Lucifer, Hallel, whatever his name is, he was made according to the image and likeness of light. So light already exists. So who is the source of light?
Who is the source of light?
Who is it, bro?
I mean, God.
okay.
Right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's the source of light, but you can only see the light, but you can never be the source of it. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
All right.
So you're saying, like, in the electrician field, there is the main panel, and then there's a sub panel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the wires,
And
and,
then
then you see
wires.
the light bulb.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you never you can see the light of the light bulb.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's coming from,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Or you know the source, but you can never be it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
The
mean?
light bulb's the light bulb, and the panel's the panel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lucifer was created. This is God right now, bro, revealing this to me. He created him according to the likeness and image of light, not the source of light, but the reflection of the source of that light.
Wow. Yo, I get it.
Yo,
I get
you know what I
you're
mean?
saying, dude.
That's crazy, right?
No, that is crazy.
But he creates Adam and Eve according to the image and likeness of the source of that light. Because the source is what? God.
God.
Isn't that crazy? That we uphold the image and likeness of the source of what he was actually created into the
Yo.
image and likeness of light. Yo, is that crazy?
Done, dude, that's crazy. No wonder he's pissed off.
Oh, he's infuriated, bro.
Yo, no wonder he wants
That's
to
why he's going with
destroy us.
everything he
Wow.
can to destroy us, bro.
And speaking of that, we see
Isn't
it
that
every,
crazy?
We see it every day, bro. He's tricking us. Oh, he's trying. Yo, he's
He's reversing it now.
reversing it to our realm.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like, we all are separate now. All of us, we all hate each other, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, those that are of the world, but
Yeah.
you know, if you're a follower of Christ, you know, I hope
Yeah,
that love remains.
So
in you.
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That he was creating the image of likeness of light.
Wow.
Not the source of light, just the light of it, where from the source comes from.
Dude, that's intense.
And we
Yeah.
were created according to the image and likeness of God, which he is the source of light. So essentially, we uphold the image and likeness of the source, and he is just the image and likeness of the source.
And the worst part is that he made it out of dirt. He made us out of dirt.
Like
dude.
to put assault to injury on top of that.
Yeah. And he was created out of light.
Out of
dude.
light.
Yo. How do you
So,
do
so
what?
now the
That's
source,
powerful.
so now
Yeah.
the source that gives light, because he is the source, right? God
Yeah.
now makes us on the likeness and image of that source out of dirt. That even pisses him off even more,
Pobrecito.
because
Yeah.
now he has to bow down to it when he
Oh
knows
my
he's made out of light.
Gosh, dude.
Do you-
Pobrecito, bro.
do you understand though why he's so adamant in trying to destroy us as much as he can?
Dude. We see it every day in the news.
Because in
much-
part,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because in part, he knows what's going on, and in part, he doesn't. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it,
Yeah.
because it is known. Because it is known that he knows his scripture, because he came to Christ with scripture, with Proverbs and Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a time where, like, does he not know what's actually going on? That his time is up. That's coming to an end very soon.
Oh.
Yet he still keeps going at it as if he doesn't know. Or does he know? Or does he still think somehow he has the advantage, the upper hand? Do you know what I mean?
No, that's something that I've wondered myself too. And I'm just like, or is it that the things that God showed him while he was, with God, were they so like way light years ahead of his knowledge that he's misinterpreting it, and he just keeps going at it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the book of Revelation is out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna tell me he somehow doesn't have access to read it? Sure, he does.
No, he does. 100%.
You tell me he doesn't know how it ends? You're gonna tell me he's not gonna try to like divert it or do something?
So he probably has some sort of information.
That's what I'm saying.
That we don't know.
Like in part he knows.
Yeah.
And it's almost like in part he doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
It's almost like, well, the prophecy that God revealed to us, did he give it to us also masking something that perhaps we cannot know yet? Because we shouldn't know.
Yeah, bro. Exactly.
And
bro.
then another thing too, like we know what the prophecy says. And sometimes I feel like Christians and everybody around the world, we're trying to push for it. We're trying to push for it.
Dude, we're never gonna.
Like you know what I mean?
Gonna know. Yeah,
like we're trying to push for it.
Yeah.
And years pass and nothing has happened because we're trying to push for it. But then years pass and then, boom, it all of a sudden happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, whoa, and it takes you out of surprise because the thing is, we don't have control.
No, we don't.
We may know the prophecy in part, and we may not know it in part. So it's the same is true. So you saying that Lucifer being wise, it's an unfortunate reality.
Yes.
Okay? He's a genius. We get it. And we're naive. Because Adam and Eve were naive.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And after so many thousands of years, the Spirit of God has helped us gain wisdom. What is that wisdom? To fear Him.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
Because without God, we'd be lost.
Exactly. To know the perfect will of Him.
Exactly.
What? To have a posture heart towards Him.
Amen, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like it points to Him.
100%.
So that wisdom and that understanding, that strength that we get through Christ, that spiritual strength in every way, the fruits of the spirits, the gifts of the spirits, those are all essentially power so that the enemy cannot convince us otherwise. Because that's his power.
Yeah.
Deception, that's his superpower.
Dude, he's doing it everywhere.
Yeah, he comes in light.
Yeah.
He's not going to present himself with horns and a pitchfork.
No
He's not
way.
gonna do that, bro.
No way, dude. Dude, like, watching Camilla Harris, it's so sad. Like, cause you just showed me a video of this guy going around town being like, "Are you? What do you say? Are you voting for Camilla Harris?"
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then the people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm voting for Camilla Harris." and then at the end of the video, he's like, "So what has she done? Like that's so accomplishing, you know?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, all these people said, I don't know. There's not a single person that said, oh, she did this and she did that. And I'm like, wow, this is what the devil was doing pretty much.
Yeah.
Deceiving everybody in every way possible.
And not just in this country, obviously.
No.
About other countries too as well.
Everywhere.
And
everywhere.
I think people need to understand, I'm going to say this like without judging, obviously. Well, I'm saying.
Bro, you're gonna hurt my feelings.
I don't really care. But... but when I do believe when some like ex witch or ex Satanist or whatever gets converted to Christ, I've seen the testimonies, the honest ones. Most of them are genuine, right?
Yeah.
But when I hear like a Satanist who is being interviewed or someone which, oh, I've met the devil. No, you haven't. You have not.
I know, right?
You have not.
You have not.
And if you think you met was like someone under him who you think it was,
right?
And you have not met him. You
no,
trust me.
They probably met the cousin of the cousin of the cousin of the devil.
It's so ridiculous. Trust me, you have not met him.
No, bro.
Trust me, I at one point thought that like it felt like it was him, right? Because I mean, that's a long story, but even sometimes like I don't think that was him, but it could have been. But
yeah.
Like, who you think he's gonna come after me?
No,
his minions are gonna come after me.
Yeah, dude. He probably sees you. He probably sees you as a little speck.
He'll be like he might say something like that because they communicate, bro. Let's be real here.
Oh, dude, 1,000%.
They communicate.
Yeah,
he could be like, all right, that person over there is gonna become a problem. Go take care of it.
Dude, exactly,
that.
bro. Because he wants to be like God so bad, right?
Right.
So he's probably like sitting on some fake
throne.
some fake. It was probably like half off deal throne that he bought, sitting there, and then telling his little minions to just
So,
like
so,
go, yeah,
so to think that he's after you, you have now when the Peter and Paul, they say that the devil is a relative term. It's just a title. The demon is a devil.
yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
he's generalizing that the devil is after you like a roaring, because it's true. Yeah, he might not be like on you personally, but he has tabs on you, man. Trust me.
Dude, come on, that's just the truth. Yeah,
He might not be omniscient, omnipresent, or
nah,
omniscient.
yeah,
But he definitely does know what's going around. He definitely has an existential amount of information, right? And he might not be all powerful, but he is the most deceiving. He's the father of lies, for crying out loud.
come
Right?
on, dude. Yeah,
You know, so he might not be all those things, but he does have a network. Trust me, and I've witnessed it before, right? Which is another time for that.
yeah.
But when you said the enemy is so wise, it's an unfortunate reality. Yes,
It is.
it is.
It is, and I'm sorry, I'm about to say this, but if you're a pastor and you say like the devil is nothing, he got nothing on, bro, you don't know what you're saying.
You're right.
You really don't. You
He
really
has
don't.
nothing on the blood of Christ.
No, yeah, that's true. But if you see a shark in the water, you're not gonna jump in there, right? So
that's a proverb too. In
oh, it is.
yeah, I think it says. Let me see if I can get it. The wise sees the danger and he flees from it.
Okay.
I'm botching it, but I'm just like summarizing.
No,
I'm translating it in Spanish,
that
because in
makes
Spanish
sense.
is like el sabio mira el mal y se aparta, right?
That makes sense.
So the wise person sees the danger and flees from it or stays away from it, right? So like I'm telling you. So if the enemy is wise, but then also in that proverb says that the person can be wise to see it, then stay away from it.
It's true.
Be apart from it. Like don't take part in it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that means
makes sense.
there is a capacity to know when you see danger coming, especially if you're like always showing up for God and you're in His presence constantly. You should have some instinctual, spiritual instinct to know, yeah, something's not right, or you should be able to have some form of wisdom to say, yeah, this. Be wise to go to who?
To God.
To Christ, bro.
To Christ, yeah, bro. No, and it's true because there've been moments where, like, you know, me and you are, for example, we went to my basement with, you know, some brothers, and we were sitting down, and I felt something off. You too, as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything though. I was just like, dude, it just feels weird.
To me, it's kind of normal already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm new to it. I'm getting used to it. So it's like I'm just like, this feels weird, bro. And I remember like next thing you know, you like turn your head and then we hear a big boom, like something like smack.
Something very loud.
And then we all get quiet. We're all like, what was that?
Yeah,
dude. It's just that the closer you get to God, the more you sense these spirits.
Yeah, but that's where the gifts of the Spirit come.
Exactly.
That connection that you build with Him, or that He's building with you, you develop those gifts, right?
Yeah.
To be able to have wisdom.
Yep.
To be able to interpret, to be able to discern, and all of these things. And the reality is this. Like Paul said, we're not fighting with flesh and blood. And it's sad because in our church, in the church here in America, or Central South America, because Central and South are severely influenced by the United States, we unfortunately we can see that like bits and parts of the enemy infiltrating subtly. And there are some people who have a hard time calling it out, or just are like, whatever, you know, to each his own. And that didn't seem to be the case in one of the 7 churches, where God called out one of the churches, like, how can you be tolerating this?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or in another church, he's like, I applaud you because you haven't tolerated it.
Yeah.
So it means like God does appreciate when one doesn't tolerate it. But He does not appreciate it when you do tolerate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think in the end of the day, it comes down to just as much as you get to know God at the deepest, you should also get to know your enemy.